Hello students. So this is the last part of our chapter 2. In that we will see special purpose application software and the difference between system software and application software. Only two topics are left from the chapter 2. So today we are ending the chapter 2. First is special purpose softwares. As you have seen the application software, what is there in application software? We are using applications or a program, set of program for different purpose. Okay, so whatever need is there for so based on that need we have to choose the software. Suppose if I have to make one document, then I am going to use Microsoft Word. If I have to draw any picture, then I am going to use Paint. Okay, so as per your need you have to use the software. Now we will see today special purpose software. Now what is special purpose software? So the software which are designed to meet the specific needs of any user are called specific purpose application software or a special purpose application software. So the software which is made for the user only, that needs some particular conditions. Okay, so based on that need the programmer is going to make a software and give the software to the user. For example, Tally, Busy, etc. So Tally we are using for accounting, so that is used by the specific user, that are those who are using accounts. Okay, so specific users are used that software. Such software are also known as customized software. For example, reservation system. Now we are using the online ticket booking. Okay, whether it's a bus or a train or a air. Okay, so whatever website we are using, for example, I am using I am going to book online bus ticket, so I have to use the government website, that is GSRTC. Okay, so I have to go through this website and as per my choice, my time and my bus, I can book the ticket. Same way I can book the ticket for the train. Same way I can book the ticket for the air. Okay, so reservation system. Then billing system. You are going for a shopping. Okay, in a mall you are going for a shopping, you shop everything, and at the counter, billing counter, what you are going to do, you are supposed to paying money. Okay, so what is the that person will do? Should the person calculating everything in a calculator? No. See, he or she just go through the barcode, whichever which is attached to the product. Okay, so through that product the barcode scan the everything, like what is the product, what is the price of the product. Okay, so all the information feed into the computer, and the computer, the application, the software will generate the bill. So whole operation is does automatically. Okay, so this is the billing system. Then payroll system is used in account. Okay, so like this, the specific purpose, for a specific reason we are going to use any software, that is known as special purpose software. So in reservation system, in a reservation system, we are going to only book the tickets. In a restaurant we are going to book the table, so in restaurant we can't book the ticket, so that is a special purpose of software. Okay, so these type of software are known as special purpose application software. Now, difference between system software and application software. So, we will see the difference between what is system software and what is application software. Okay. So, very first is system software. System software, the first point, it is a type of program installed to control the operation of a computer system and run the application program. Now, what is system software? So, it is a type of program that is installed to control the operation of computer system. Okay, we are using word processor. Okay, so we are just using the basic word processor. For operating that word processor, whatever programs are needed is maintained or controlled by the system software. So whereas application software is, it is installed as per the requirement of the user. It utilizes the capability of a computer on which it is installed. So based on the user need, application software is made, and the whatever capabilities of a computer, okay, based on that the application is installed in that computer. Now, second point is it includes programs such as compilers, system utilities, debugger, drivers, assemblers, etc. Now, why we are needed this type of program? Because system software is a basic core part of the operating system. Okay, so whatever application we are running on the computer, to control that application we need compilers, we need system utilities, we need debuggers, we need drivers, we need assemblers. So all of these devices are controlled by the system software. Now, what is application software? So, application software includes graphics software, word processor, and spreadsheet programs. Okay, so here are the basic examples of the application software. We are using graphics software like CorelDRAW, Paint. We are using word processor like MS Word, spreadsheet like Microsoft Excel. So, these all are the application software. System software, you cannot interact with a system software while working on a computer as it runs in the background. Okay, so you are using Microsoft Excel and you are using Microsoft Word, you are using both the application at the same time. Okay, so to run that application, whatever drivers, whatever programs are needed, that all controlled by the system software in the background. You can't see the background process of that, how it can control, how it can open it, how it can save. Okay, all it does in background process. Whereas application software, a user can interact with application software by performing different activities. Now, if you are going to book any railway ticket, okay, so you are using that website, you are going step by step through that website. Okay, so basically you are interacting with that application. Okay, so this is the application software. It can run independently of the application software. Okay, so what is system software? It is run independently. Okay, whereas application software, it cannot run without the presence of system software. If you want to use Microsoft Word but there is no program or a drivers or a device which manage that Microsoft Word application program, so we can't use that Microsoft Word application program. So we can use system software independently, but we can't use application software independently. Now next, that and the last topic of the operational support system of this chapter, that is OSS. Okay, now what is this? We have seen system software as well as application software. Now it is a system or a special type of software installed by communication service provider to operate, monitor, analyze and manage computer or a telephone network system on the client's computer. Now, whatever we have seen is based on or a limited for a individual PC only. Okay, it is limited to one PC only, single PC only. Okay, if there is a there is one network that contain hundred of computers. Okay, hundred of computers is there for in a one lab, and for to control or to manage that 100 computer, we need a network. Okay, so for that network we want some different application program, different software. So based on that network, so for this network we are using operational support system. Okay, so OS is also called operation support system. Whenever there is a need for network configuration, then we will use this operational support system. It is often installed on the server computer and is mainly used for supporting network processes to maintain the network inventory, configure network component, provision service and manages faults. So to manage that 100 computer at a one time, we need such a big computer or such a big server to handle all this activity. Okay, so all this activity is handled by one server. Okay, we are making one computer as a server, so that server is manages all the activities. Okay, so here we are ending with chapter 2. Now there is a one last topic, that is defragmentation. Defragmentation is not there in our, okay, we are just cut out this topic because it is very heavy or a very high for you to understand. Okay, so we are just cut out this defragmentation, and here we are ending our chapter 2.